Hey there. Today I'm going to show you 3 easy farm touches using Fidelity Total Farm, along with 3 easy integrations with this system for print marketing and targeted social media marketing. So let's get into it. So the first one is going to be anniversaries. I already did this last week's video, but I'll do it again for the sake of repetition. So let's say that I want to farm this Hawthorne farm consistently. It's the area I've been reaching out to, door knocking to, calling to, whatever it may be, but I want to switch things up. Maybe I've just been doing market updates, standard stuff, but now I want to get a little bit more creative, a little bit more personal. So what I can do is go into this farm. This is the complete farm, all 1900 records, basically 2000 records. One of these filters right here under farm filters, and then this filters drop down is anniversary. So this gives me all of the homeowners who have a home purchase anniversary coming up this month in November. So if I scroll to the right here, I actually see that. So all these people bought their house in November. Let's say I just want the owner occupied. I want to make sure they live there. Select occupied. Now it's 105 records, basically, of people that have a home anniversary coming up this month. I can even layer onto that. Maybe I want people that have lived there for 10 years. I created a custom filter in here. There's somewhat of a weird workaround where to get the 10-year anniversaries for these people, I have to do it in complete farm for some reason, but I can, I'll just show you how I create this new filter. So I'll do plus here. I'll say 10-year anniversary filter. I'll say years in property. And let's say equals 10. And now it's right here. I select it, apply filter, and now it gives me the 5 people that have a home anniversary coming up this month in November and have lived in the property for 10 years. This is their 10th year of living in the property. I can see that over here. So if I scroll over here now, I have this. So that's one easy touch. Happy 10th year anniversary. Hope you've enjoyed living in your home in the neighborhood. Let me know if you have any questions about real estate or have any real estate needs in the near future. Easy way to reach out to them, and an easy way to reach out to them if you're maybe on a little bit of the lazy side. Maybe you don't want to go and write a note. You don't want to get the envelope. You don't want to get the postage. I think I fall in that camp. So I think that's why that resonates with me. What I could do is export this and integrate this with a different service. And so one is handwrite.io. That's what's great about Fidelity Total Farm. Makes it really easy to integrate with things. So I can come in here to this share button here, go to third party exports, and then handwrite.io. If you want to see what these ultimately look like, I have a video on it, mass create automated handwritten cards on my YouTube channel here. This is basically the outside of the card, what it looks like. Here's the postage. And what this does is allows you to upload a list of contacts to them, to their website. And they have a robot that handwrites these cards with real ink. If you even zoom in here, I actually smudge the card a little bit and it actually bleeds through a tiny bit. So I did a video last week on it showing you how to ultimately do this. But what I can do is create my own stationery. So I went into Canva, created something like this, says happy 10-year anniversary of living in your home. I uploaded a list of contacts from Total Farm. So all I have to do is come in here, like I said, once again, make sure I have this specific niche farm selected. And it is selected, the fact that it's on the screen right now. And I can go to this share button, third party, handwrite.io, hit OK. It's going to download to my computer. Then I'm going to go to my contacts here in handwrite.io after I've created an account, after I've input my credit card information, billing information, all of that jazz. And then I'm going to select CSV upload, then upload those contacts to here. It'll be uploaded in there for you. And then it's just easy to send these things out. Then I'll create a template. So I can go to templates, new template, write the message. There's a full video. I go way more in depth on it in that video. If you're curious about it, check it out. It says home anniversary in the title, and you'll be able to launch these. And ultimately, let's say you're just looking for an automatic once a month thing you're going to do to your farm area. Once you've done this a couple of times, this process might take you, 10 minutes to go from getting the data, throwing it into handwrite.io, launching the card. You're good to go. Now you have, in this case, 5 pieces going out this month, and you can get their contacts from a website like fastpeoplesearch.com. Search the address, do a follow-up call 2 weeks later and say, hey, just wanted to see if you got my card. Was congratulating you on 10 years of living in your home. That's awesome. And then continue the conversation from there. Okay, so touch number 2 is going to be empty nesters. Basically, people that I think might have a good chance of being 55 years or older. And empty nesters, in terms of the Fidelity Total Farm world, are people that have lived in their property for 25 plus years. So that means probably three things. Like I said, one is that they're probably 55 years or older. The second is they probably have a lot of equity built up. The price that they probably bought their house is a lot lower than the value of their house now. The third thing is they probably have a really low property tax assessed value. And if you know anything about Prop 19, and by the way, if you don't, there's a video playlist in my channel that walks through Prop 19, explains it in detail to you. But basically, these are people that are prime and ready for something like Prop 19. And so to show you once again how you can find these people in Total Farm and then integrate with something else, we'll start with farm filters here. And then in filters drop down right here once again, we'll go to empty nester. So now it's 744 people that I'll be hyper marketing to, or I guess targeted marketing to. And same thing again, I'll go to occupancy and select occupied, because for Prop 19 to be, or I guess for the homeowners to be qualified for Prop 19, the primary residence that they're living in now needs to be the thing that they're actually living in. So that's a key thing to really filter for. But I can go even further down the rabbit hole if I really wanted to. Maybe I want to do a specific demographic group. Maybe that's an audience that I resonate well with, I interact with a lot of the times potentially. And so I can even go to surname on top of that, throw in, let's say, Korean homeowners here. Now it's giving me the 38 homeowners that are Korean, that are owner occupied, and that have lived in their property for 25 plus years. Now I want to reach out to them about Prop 19. Once again, I can integrate really well with another resource that exists out there called CoreFact, which has a bunch of pre-made postcard templates for me with built-in lead capture. There's a link in the description to that video as well that shows you all of the features in further detail. But once again, really easy. All you have to do is get the contacts from Total Farm, upload them to CoreFact, launch the card, and once you've done it a few times, once again, this is a process that might take you 5 or 10 minutes. And now you have another once a month automatic drip that you're doing to a farm area. So what I can do now is I have this data filtered within the system. I go to this share button once again, and this share button is going to be mostly your hub for using this data and integrating with other services. So that could be printing labels out here, right? And then doing a print campaign, or exporting the data to something like Handwrite.io or CoreFact or HomeBot, or even exporting the data to your own personal CRM. So maybe you use Command or Compass Realty CRMs, and you can export the data from here into those systems. But in this case, we're going to go to third party, download CoreFact to the computer. Now we have it there, for example. And let's say we now go to CoreFact. And once I'm in the account, I go to store here, then postcards. And then I scroll down and go to the senior series. And they actually already have a Prop 19 postcard pre-built for me. So I can just select it here. And then it's going to allow me to choose the back of the postcard. And like I said, I can select this QR code and basically have a postcard that's going to have a QR code built within it, personalized to each address. And I see anybody that scans that QR code, I know which address actually scanned it. So if I send out 38 of these, in this case, I'm going to know which of these contacts actually scanned that QR code, and I'll be able to keep track of that. So for example, what that might look like if you go to contacts here, let's say this was your account, and maybe you sent out 10 different postcard campaigns throughout the year, you'd see all the people that scanned the QR code, how many times they engaged with it, if they asked for any information. So once again, a really easy way to send out some contacts to a niche group in a farm area. Okay, now for the third way to have an easy farm touch through Fidelity Total Farm, that's going to be with Homeowner Exemption up here. So if you click this filter, now it's going to give me the 427 homeowners in this farm. That was originally roughly 2,000 records. Now it's going to give me the 427 people that haven't filed their homeowner's exemption. And so if you don't know what that is, you can actually go to the California State Board of Equalization. And it's actually a bill that allows for a reduction in your assessed taxable value of $7,000. All you have to do is fill out this simple form, send it to the county assessor in the county that your property is in. But the key requirement is that you have to be living in the property, right? So basically you're saying, this is my primary residence. Can I get the homeowner's exemption, reduce my property tax burden by $7,000? Might only save me a few $100 a year, but still it's a few $100 a year that I'm saving. So now you know which homeowners haven't actually filled that out. And so what I can do, maybe I can do print marketing once again, but let's switch it up. Now I can do a targeted social media ad. And what's great about Fidelity Total Farm's targeted social media ads is that it's actually going to find these people on Facebook and Instagram, whether they're following you on Instagram or whether they're actually friends with you on Facebook, it doesn't matter. This ad will appear on their screens, on their Facebook feeds, on their Instagram feeds, as long as they have the account and that Total Farm is able to find them. And so what I can do to actually launch these is go to Homeowner Exemption, make sure that I have this criteria selected, go to the share button once again, where I went earlier to export the data to different systems. And now I can go to Facebook, Instagram ads here, place Facebook, Instagram ad. These are templates, so it doesn't really matter which one of these I choose too much, but let's just say free, no obligation report here. Let's just name it for my records later after I launch the ad, Homeowner Exemption ad. Let's say, have you filed your homeowner exemption? And then maybe I can say save 7,000 in, or reduce. I guess we could say like reduce assessed value by 7,000, and then say contact me for more info. Let's just see if that runs here. So have you filed your homeowner's exemption? Contact me for more info. Reduce assessed value by 7,000. Instagram only shows this one. So to say, have you filed your homeowner's exemption here? And then so what we can do is actually make some content on something like Canva. And so I did this earlier. If you want help with creating something like this for yourself, I can walk you through it. Just let me know. We could set up a Zoom or meeting. And what you can do is create something like this. So you have 2 slides. Maybe it says, did you know you could reduce your assessed property tax by 7,000 by filling out one simple document? And then it talks about the homeowner's exemption on the next slide. I was thinking you could even go a step further because I have my cell phone on here, but let's say I want to make it really easy for people to reach out to me. So I can actually go to this QR code generator website. Here's a link to it right here. And then go to SMS. I can put in my number. I can say, hi, Grant. Could you help me learn more about the homeowner exemption? I can generate this QR code. And how this will work is that anyone that scans this QR code, basically their phone will just automatically read this QR code and their message app will pop up on their phone with this message already preloaded with your number already put in there. So all they're going to have to do is basically just hit send, so it kind of eliminates a lot of the friction that might take place with the opposite case, which might be going into here and having to see your phone number and entering it in manually. That's a lot of steps. And I feel like somewhat lazy creatures sometimes, and a few steps like that might be a few steps too many. And so it's easier if I just have to put up my camera, scan the QR code, and the message is sent for me. And so what I can do now is go here, get this QR code, and I can throw it in here to this piece. So let's just resize this. So I can put it here. And maybe I want it on the second page as well. Same thing down here. Let's get some text for it. So let's just choose, just add a subheading, and we'll just throw it down here. Let's reduce the font maybe to 15. And then we'll say, scan this QR code for more info. And let's use this. Let's reformat it. And obviously you can make it look way nicer than this. I'm trying to just speed through it to show you what is possible. You could even like throw in an arrow on there to make it look a little nice. So I'll click this arrow and then resize it, make it smaller. And then let's rotate this. Something like this. That way at least like it looks like it's popping off the screen a little bit more. Let's put it down here as well. Move this over. Move this down. Nice. Okay, so now we have these two. And let's just download this as a PNG. Download this to our computer. And then now we're going to go back into Fidelity Total Farm, use this as the content for our ads. Okay, so now that we have those photos, let's throw them into the ad. So we'll select ad type, then carousel multiple images. And let's just assume that I didn't have them in here now. we'll just basically drag these over. So we'll get them from this computer, drag them over to the screen, upload files, and now here they are. So that's what that ad actually looks like on the back end. I can basically see the difference between there. Someone could just scan this QR code and they're good to go. I can also change the landing page. So let's say that I have maybe a website where I have maybe a link to a Prop 19 calculator that we can give you access to, or maybe I did a YouTube video on it as a realtor, and maybe I can have that be the link with a full breakdown of the homeowner's exemption or something like that. And then I can choose the days. So I can say 5 days, choose your audience, launch, and you're good to go. So these were 3 quick farm touches for you. Really effective ways of just getting some valuable content out there to homeowners in your area, switch things up, but ultimately just a way to have conversations with people and connect and actually provide value to homeowners and become that real estate consultant that people trust. So if you want any more information on any of these or want to sit down and learn how these can work or set farms up for yourself, feel free to contact me anytime. Or there's a link in the description to a meeting scheduler. Feel free to check that out and book a meeting with me. Happy to go over these things with you.